On the latest episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Pinky Cole said that she was going to pray for Phaedra Parks and her wigs. Okay. So, well, I can't recall if she said wigs, plural, or just wig, right? Because Phaedra, she is known for wearing the wigs. I mean, let's just call a thing a thing. But the man responsible for those wigs has something to say about it. Okay. So I saw this. I don't know if I saw it last night or early this morning, but it's been posted by the Neighborhood Talk. So let's talk about it here. Okay. Now, he is like, so I heard that a cast member was talking about needing to pray for Phaedra's wigs. And so he goes on to say, well, when did said wigs ever need prayer? I'm paraphrasing, of course. So let's just take a look here. And we're also going to take note of what Phaedra had to say in the comments. So just go ahead and let's take a look. Here he is asking, well, when did we need to pray for these wigs, especially since I've been on wig duty? Okay, let's take a look at the flashback. Here we are with the flashback of Pinky asking for prayer for the wig and giggling. And here are said examples of Phaedra and her wigs and her getting her wigs done down. Okay. Come on, wig. Come on, wig. Let's go, wig. You know, to me, this is a great example of what I mean when I talk about I never really understand how someone can has a bad wig, but I guess that's also because there's many different types of wigs, right? I'm assuming that there is what human hair, there is maybe not so human hair, synthetic blends or synthetic hair, but I would also assume that there is someone who may be also specializing in the application of said wigs, right? Because we've also seen where some people have a wig on and it looks like it's literally sitting on the top of their head, like someone just threw it on their head. And I always thought in my mind, the whole point of the wig, right, is to either what A, experiment with a new style and not have to commit to it, B, protect your natural hair by, perhaps braiding it and putting it under a wig cap, or just for the sake of ease, comfort, and just doing something different. In my mind, you buy the wig and the wig looks good. I mean, how do we go wrong with the wig? I know I'm going down into some rabbit hole territory. I get it, right? So anyway, Phaedra said, and I'm questioning this because I've seen some housewives with some wigs that are literally just sitting there, and I'm just like, but it looks like a helmet, but not Phaedra's wigs. Okay, so I want to shout out to him. So Phaedra then says, a dirty, dry tennis ball head could never. Okay. Not a dirty, dry tennis ball head. See, this is when you need an activated Phaedra. Okay. We need a little bit of activation. All right. As K Michelle's talking about, she's activated and clocked in. I wish that Phaedra would do the same, but maybe Pinky will bring that out of Phaedra. You know, Phaedra, who allegedly, according to Pinky, eats the people that she's burying. Okay. I don't know what in the Hannibal Lecter. But anyway, so shall we proceed? Yes, indeed. So then Pinky, she has her own clap back. And here's what she had to say. Okay. She says this. Too bad. Oh, hey, friend, you right. Her hair is always laid. Too bad it might be a dirty tennis ball underneath, just like me. Phaedra Parks, I wish you could say that same exact thing in your next confessional, but I don't know when the camera is coming back to get you. So let's dissect that a little bit, shall we? Because, when I first saw this, I just read it as, oh, a clap back, it is what it is, did she who won in this clap back, right? Who won in this debate? Is it gonna be the dirty, dusty tennis ball head, or is it gonna be the dirty, dusty tennis ball head underneath the wig? I don't know. Okay, I don't know. But shout out to the neighborhood talk. Um, I don't know if it was Pinky that posted the dirty tennis ball or the neighborhood talk. Whoever did it is just y'all are sending me. Okay. And it seems as though Pinky has a bit of a sense of humor about herself, so it appears, can throw some shade with the rest and the best of them. All right. Okay, so let's dissect something that she says here that I feel like is more interesting than the dirty tennis ball of it all. Okay. She says, I wish you could say that same exact thing in your next confessional, but I don't know when the camera is coming back to get you. What does that mean? Is she, what is she suggesting here? That's basically what I want to ask. What is she suggesting? What does she know that we maybe don't know? What I would say is this. I would say that, and I said this before, if Pinky Cole and K Michelle were going to be joining the Real Housewives of Atlanta, we technically don't need everybody that came from last season. It just wasn't necessary. I don't think. And it's story wise, I mean, maybe we'll see more in the coming weeks. I'm sure we will because it's very early in the season. But I just said it. I was like, because Atlanta has never done 8 housewives. So this is a first. And I'm not mad at it. But typically once they do that 8, they don't. I've never seen a show go back to the 8. They usually go from 8 to 9 or 7, well, 8 to 7. And then I mean, you never know. Okay, maybe back to 6. But it's usually back to 7 the following season. And to be quite frank with you, not everybody is seemingly pulling their weight thus far. And so I wonder if, as K Michelle says that, well, what's going on with Phaedra? All she do is, sit around and giggle, right? That's pretty much been a lot of people's complaints about Phaedra for quite some time now. Is yeah, child, giggle, giggle, yeah, child, giggle, giggle, yeah, child, giggle, giggle. And granted, she does always serve a good wig, and she's fun to watch. But what is she bringing besides OG energy to the mix, right? I mean, she's a great narrator, so I guess you do need that. But do you when you have a K Michelle, right? Do you when you have a Portia? Do you need that? And then we don't really get that much of your actual personal life. I don't know. I don't really know. And so I have to question when she says, "But I don't know when the camera is coming back to get you." Does that mean that Phaedra's on the chopping block? And how does Pinky know that? Unless maybe they were all told at the beginning of the season that somebody's not going to make it, which also would not surprise me either. Okay? Because again, you just got 8 people. Not and everybody's not bringing something. At least not right now. You had poor Kelly wasn't even featured in this latest episode. So er, maybe that's the workaround, is that if you're being paid per episode length that you're or as many episodes as that you might be in, then certain people are probably maybe not going to be featured in every episode, but we will be able to tell that as the time goes on, as episodes begin to air. That is going to be interesting to me, because then I think we will be able to understand how that budget is making more sense. Because obviously, let's talk about it. I mean, when you take out Kenya Moore from the mix, you are able to increase the budget for some other people, because Kenya Moore is going to command a much higher rate than probably some of these new ladies are. Okay. So it will be interesting to see when we get down to episode 15, 16, and we look back and see who was not featured in several episodes or who was featured in every episode. I think then we may have a better determination of how this all went down contractually. And again, it could all, listen, we could be still guessing at the end of the day, but I like to know these things because I'm always interested in the business aspects of, how this whole thing works. Yeah, I'm into the tea and the shade and stuff like that, but I got to there's so much more and so much more depth because I'm interested in TV in general. Okay. And so that's why I am so fascinated by what she said there at the end. And I wanted to really discuss that because I think it's actually worth discussing. What did she mean by that? Okay. All right. So listen, for those of you guys who have made it this far in the video, thank you guys. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, like this video if you haven't already done so. And also check out the video that I released late last night. It is about how Instagram now has a new update that, I don't know, y'all, is, I think, going to change the game for a lot of people and help a lot of people get paid. Okay. So you definitely want to tune into that video. I will put it in the link in the description. And then if you are so inclined to sign up for the masterclass for tonight, we'll provide a bridge to show you how you can utilize Instagram's new update to help you drive revenue, okay, and generate revenue from your content. Y'all, that is what the masterclass is all about. So if you're looking to make money from your content, then this masterclass will definitely provide you with a clearer path on how to do that and maybe get you beyond the point of why you haven't been doing it from the start. Okay. So for those of you guys who have signed up, we'll see you tonight in class. And for everybody else, I will see you in the next video.